Hi class, this is number 1 on 7.2. Suppose the true population or proportion, so it's a true proportion of voters in the county who support a specific candidate is 0.37. Consider the sampling distribution of the proportion of supporters with sample size n equals 131. And they asked for the mean of the distribution and they're asking for the mean of the distribution of the sampling distribution of the sample proportion and the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of the sample proportion. So this is different than in section 7.1 where we were working with the mean of the sampling distribution of the sample mean, right? So remember the notation from 7.1 looks like this because it was the mean of the sampling distribution of the sample mean. And this one is now changed to see how it has the lowercase p hat. It's no longer mu sub x bar, now it's mu sub p. And that's because there's a different distribution for this and there's a different formula for these, right? So there's actually also some requirements that have to be met. But for a simple random sample of size n with population proportion p, the shape of the distribution is normally distributed, and they tell you this has to be met though. N times t times 1 minus p is greater than or equal to 10. If that is true, then the distribution is normally distributed. Okay, that's one thing that's just a little extra thing that they want us. But then here's our formulas for all of 7.2. These are for sampling distribution of the sample proportion. These are different than the sampling distribution of the sample mean, like we saw for 7.1, right? Remember, like in 7.1, these were our formulas that we used. Wait, sigma x bar, and this was like sigma over the square root of n. Well, these we're not going to use anymore, right? Well, we'll see that on the test, and you're going to have to really pay attention. Are they asking for about a sample about a mean of a sample, or are they asking about a proportion of a sample? Because if they're asking about a proportion of a sample, then you're going to have to use these equations, right? They ask about a mean or mean weight being greater than something, or a mean weight being equal to some value, then you're going to use those, right? Okay, so these are the new formulas that you want to use in 7.2. That the mean is equal to the population proportion, the percentage they give you in the problem. And then that's the standard deviation is equal to this new formula, the square root of p minus 1 minus p over n. So let's do this problem with these new formulas. So I'll write those down. The mean of the sampling distribution of the sample proportion should be equal to the population proportion. And that is just the proportion that they give you in the beginning of the problem. That's just 0.37. Then what is the standard error, standard deviation of the sampling distribution round to 3 decimal places? So we need to use this formula. Sigma is equal to this sigma p hat is equal to, like I said, the formula is p1 minus p all over n, and then take the square root of everything. So plugging in for the p is my population proportion, so it's 0.37 times 1 minus 0.37 all over n, which is 131, and then I have to calculate what this is. That is, and so I go to my calculator. You can just put, when you're using CAS calculator, you can just put S and you write it out. You can type in SQR RT, and that's like shorthand for saying square root. And that's the fastest, easiest way to get a square root symbol in the picture here. Oops. SQR, and as soon as I press T, it turns into a square root. There we go. Now I put the, I'm going to put in parentheses because I want to tell it this is everything in the numerator. So put 0.37, then I in my parentheses times, press shift 8. Then I put another parenthesis, 1 minus 0.37, and then I end parentheses, and then I put one more ending parenthesis. Actually, I don't want one here. I don't know why I put one there. Then I put one here. That's showing it that all that is in the numerator. Okay, then I'd say I use the backslash, and then I divide by what they said was the population. They're going to need a sample size, which is 131. And there we go. We have our standard deviation. It's 0.0421. And I don't know how many decimal places they wanted accuracy to. Round to 3 decimal places. So let's go back to the answer. So if they want 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, I look at the 1 and it's less than 5. So I would say just 0.042 is the answer we want here. And that's exactly what we want. And like I said, the first answer is 0.27. All right, have a great day, everyone. I hope that this was very valuable.